Hello and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen and today I'm making beer soap using one of my favorite beers, Guinness Extra Stout. Yum! It's a great beer and it's wonderful in soap. Beer is a fantastic soap additive. It's very good for your skin. I mean, if you're old school and remember back in the 70s, women were rinsing their hair with beer, and it just, the hops and the wheat and all the wonderful, the malts in there have great properties. So beer is going to be in this soap, and of course with fall time coming, Oktoberfest, you know. Anyway, had to do the Guinness beer. For the fragrance that I'll be using today, I'm going to use black leather and vetiver from Wholesale Supplies Plus. This smells really nice. It is a masculine scent, but I love it. It's wonderful. So that's going to be the fragrance. And I'm still formulating how I want to do the body of the soap and the top, but I do want to incorporate my dark chocolate mica from Be Scented somehow in there, either a swirl or a mica layer. I'm still thinking about what I want to do with the body of this soap. I would like to do a heavy oatmeal, kind of an oatmeal stout theme. So I will do a little extra colloidal oats in this, maybe put some oats on top. I'm still formulating my plan, and I may even incorporate a little bit of goat milk in here too and make like an oatmeal milk stout. I'm not sure. I'm doing the intro and I haven't even figured it all out. I just got the beer, got the fragrance. I know that for sure. I will think about it as I get everything prepped and ready to go. I will show you how I prep the beer to make soap the way that I like to do it. I like to boil it down a little bit and kind of distill out all the carbonation and boil off the alcohol. That's how I like to work with beer. So we'll talk about that more when we get there. Anyway, let me get everything ready to go, get prepped, and let's prep the beer and get ready to make some really awesome Guinness beer. Guinness Extra Stout, let me see. Yes, Guinness Extra Stout beer soap. So it's time to prepare my beer for the soap, and this is how I like to do it. I have seen other soapers that will add beer, kind of like how I do my milk and oil method, and they'll just add beer straight to the oils, or after trace, just add the beer straight into the soap after you've reached emulsification. And that's fine, but I like to have a bigger volume of beer in my soap because I really like the additives, plus it makes a really nice bubbly bar of soap. So to get the volume of beer that I want, I'm comfortable with simmering this down, getting the alcohol off and the carbonation out. So here's how I do it. Well, this has a magnet on it, stuck to my table. All right, got to pour the beer in the little saucepan here, and I'm simply going to bring it up to a simmer and take my whisk here and just whisk it until all the carbonation is off and it doesn't rise to a foamy head anymore when I whisk it. So you see that beautiful, well, this is Guinness, of course. It's got that beautiful foamy top on it, which Guinness is famous for. If you there is a correct way to pour a Guinness into a Pilsner cup, and I don't know how, but I'm not doing anything traditional here except getting it in the pan. I'm not pouring it correctly, so I apologize if there's any beer aficionados out there. Don't get frustrated. I'm going to boil all that off anyway. So all that being said, there is the beers, and these are, let's see, these are 12 ounce, right? 11.2 ounce. So right now I have 22 ounces of liquid in here, but by the time I get done, it'll probably be much less than that. So that's what I do. I'm just going to whisk this and let it sit and simmer. And when I whisk it and it stops foaming up at the top, it'll be ready to take off the burner and let it cool down. And then we'll come back and get to making the lye solution with it. And I'll tell you what the volume it boils down to, but 22 ounces to start. We'll check in when it's done. So I actually had a funny thing happen. I distilled down the beer, and let's see, it was 22.5 ounces when I poured it in the saucepan, and I got 16 ounces of beer after I boiled it down and got all the carbonation worked out of it. And I popped this in the freezer yesterday and forgot about it, so I have a beer chunk on my spatula here. I've let it sit out. It's starting to melt around the outside, so I figured I'd bring you along as I make my lye solution with the beer. So I have 16 ounces of beer in here, and I'm going to chop up my Tussa silk. Even though this is frozen, it will still get hot enough to melt this, and I will show you. So I've got this snipped up into bits, and here is my lye, and I'm going to go ahead and just Start adding this on and kind of mixing it around. And that beer is very dark, the Guinness beer, but you know, that's gorgeous. I think it's going to make a beautiful color. So I'm just going to add the lye in here, little bits at a time, and it'll start melting and heating and doing all the good stuff that lye and water or liquid does. You can already see it's starting to melt. It's amazing how fast it heats up. And the silk is almost all the way dissolved already. Well, my Guinness beer lye solution finishes cooling off because it did heat up nicely even though it was a frozen chunk. I wanted to read the scent description for this black leather and vetiver. It smells so good. It says dark notes of black leather, patchouli, and oud wood are enhanced with vetiver, black pepper, and vanilla. And that's a mouthful, but it smells really nice. It's a wonderful combination. So let's get the additives into the oils and butters here. Because I only had 16 ounces of the beer for the lye solution, I had room to put goat milk in this. And of course, I'm going to be doing an extra load of oats because I want this to be an oatmeal stout. It just sounded really good to me. So we'll do 2 tablespoons of the the kale and clay, and I will do 4 tablespoons of the colloidal oats. So we'll do a double dose of oats in this. And then I also have some organic whole oats to sprinkle down on the top to sort of represent it all. It's just yum. So let me get this blended in and let that absorb in while I'm waiting for the beer lye solution to cool, and we'll come back and get started making soap. All right, so after much deliberation and thinking, I've come up with a plan for this soap. Based on my other beer soap that I just made, my Oktoberfest, I did layers, and I think I'm going to do layers on this, so that'll be my beer theme this year, will be layers. So what I'm going to do is, of course, look at this gorgeous chocolatey color of the Guinness lye solution. Isn't that lovely? And so I will start with a dark bottom layer with my chocolate mica, and then go a little bit lighter. I have some titanium dioxide for the top, you know, as we work our way up. And then I'm going to do my little hair comb top with my oats, is how I'm doing this. So layers, little comby top, oats, that's what I'm wanting to do. I'm hoping this behaves. I do have the fragrances already in here with my oils right now. It got good reviews that it did not misbehave, and I want to make sure each layer has the same amount of fragrance, so it's in there. Oh, this is wonderful. So in the lye bucket here, I've got the beer distilled down, no sugar because the beer is its own sugar, tuss of silk fibers, and sodium lactate. That's what's going on in here. I'm going to hand stir it just to kind of test the waters, make sure everything's behaving, and then I will split off and stick blend each layer as we go. Oh, this color though. I'm a chocolate lover anyway, and I love dark beer, and this just kind of hits it for me. Came out beautiful. I'm really hoping that the layers, and we're working the darker colors on the bottom and everything. The fragrance does have said that it discolors to a tan, and then the beer is in here, and so we're just going to go with that. That's just kind of gonna, let's embrace it. So I'm just going for emulsion here, and then we'll split off and get to layering up. All right, it's the next day and I can't wait to get in here and see how those layers came out. Let me tell you, this fragrance smells really nice. It behaved beautifully. I had plenty of time to do everything. In fact, it was kind of liquidy, so when I came in with my little hair comb, it got a little sloopy, but I'm actually digging the top. So let's get in here and see how the inside looks. Back with the lovely Olga here. Let's get into these bars. I am so delighted with how the colors came out and the stripes. The top is very unique. I'll be cutting these with the Oats side down to help reduce drag marks going through the bars. Anytime you have chunky bits on top of your soap, if you put it down, the wire won't pull it through the bar. So let's get to cutting and see if we had any breakthrough on the pour on the inside. Kind of crazy about these oatmeal stout. And I'm loving, that's what I was hoping, the individual cut bars, the tops, really loving that. Oh, I'm super thrilled with these. They smell masculine, but again, I like that. So, you know, as a woman, I would definitely use this bar. Oh, I'm very happy. Let me keep cutting here. Oh, I think that's cute too. The little bit of the comb came through. Just adds a little fun interest on these. All right, let's get on to the next loaf. And I wanted to say that I am revisiting my thoughts on tightening and loosening the strings. Somebody brought it to my attention here on YouTube in the comments section about tension and wires, and I did a little more research, and it's actually, I believe now, better to keep the tension level on your wires rather than loosening and tightening them each time. So I'd like to revise that. I know that I have said to loosen your wires after each time, and I'm now revisiting that and changing my mind. So I apologize if I led anyone astray. Just the science behind wires and the tension and all that kind of made sense to me. So I'm going to try keeping the tension on my wires for a while, and we'll see if the strings hold up any better or worse. And so let's keep that conversation going, and I will get back to you all. And you know, only the test of time will tell, right? We got to try it and see. But oh, I'm happy with these. So happy with these. And again, beer soaps lather like a dream. There's just something about the beer that really aids to a lather booster. I love a good beer soap.